What is up, Janksters? It's your boy Graham, also known as HamHawks42 on the internet, and today we're looking at another combo, and this is an infinite combo that is available in Standard, and I know people are rediscovering it. Huge shout out to my buddy Hearsay TTV, who's been brewing with it right now, and this is an interesting one because it's been around for a long time, since Strixhaven dropped, as a matter of fact, but it's needed a couple support pieces, so we're going to get into it. The combo is very simple. It's Birgi, God of Storytelling. Birgi says whenever you cast a spell, you add 1 red to your mana pool until the end of your turn. You don't lose mana as steps and phases end. There's also a thing about Boast on Birgi. We don't really care about that. The only thing we're doing here is using that extra mana. And then we combine that with Grinning Ignus. Grinning Ignus is a 2/2 for 3 that says you may pay 1 red, return Grinning Ignus to its owner's hand. You add generic red to your mana pool. Activate only as a sorcery. So the idea behind Grinning Ignus is you can pay 3 up front, and then later you can net 2 positive mana, so you can be hitting 5 drops on turn, on turn 3, or 4 drops on turn 3, 5 drops on turn 4, etc., etc. So you get kind of a little bump up in mana, which is nice. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. However, the way that this works is Birgi gives you that 1 mana to bounce the Grinning Ignus. Grinning Ignus gives you enough mana to pay for itself, and you have an infinite combo where you're casting Grinning Ignus out, bouncing it back to hand, casting it out again, bouncing it back to hand, casting it out again. Now, on its face, these 2 cards together do nothing other than bounce things back and forth. That's all it does. It just brings a creature online, bounces it back to your hand. So you need something else to leverage this combo in order to make it work. In the past, we've had cards like Terror of the Peaks that says whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, it deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. That converts this infinite Ignus entering trigger into infinite damage. Therefore, you win the game on the spot. That's pretty great. Another great piece that I've used in the past for this is Quirion Dryad. Whenever you cast a spell that's white, blue, black, or red is the important one here, put a +1/+1 counter on Quirion Dryad. So you get an infinitely large Quirion Dryad. Now you need to have some way to give it trample or some way to fling it at your opponent to make that work. And actually, if you're curious about, I do have a deck tech it's actually over a year old as of this recording, on a deck leveraging this combo with Quirion Dryad, so you can check the cards up here. That link is going to be available if you want to check that out. But none of those pieces exist anymore in Standard. They've all rotated out. So if you want to do those in Historic, great, good on ya. But what we do have now is Witty Roastmaster. Witty Roastmaster is a card with Alliance. It is a 3/2 that says, for 3, whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. Perfect. Because when we're having a creature enter the battlefield infinite times, this becomes infinite damage. So that's fantastic. It's very straightforward. It's very simple. It does the job. We also have Devilish Valet. This is another one. If you enjoy the idea of a creature getting astronomically large and crashing through for the win that way, Devilish Valet can get you there. It has Alliance as well, and importantly, it also has Trample, which is really notable. But it says, whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, double Devilish Valet's power until end of turn. So with each Ignus hit, Devilish Valet just grows and grows and grows and grows, and it still has haste. Now, the one downside to this combo is it requires 3 pieces, all of which are 3 drops. So that's going to be a bit of a challenge to build a deck that can fire consistently around it. There is one card that is available right now. Once you get to a point where you have 6 mana that can actually tutor up any one of these pieces, that I would be remiss if I didn't mention it here because I think it could be valuable potentially in this deck, and that is Rocco, Cabaret Caterer. I just want to throw this out there as an idea. If you have 6 mana, 1 of which is red, 1 of which is green, 1 of which is white, it says, when Rocco Cabaret Caterer enters the battlefield, if you cast it, you may search your library for a creature card with mana value X, and you pay X in its mana cost, or less, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. So if you have 6 mana lying around, you cast out Rocco. If Birgi's on the field, you get the 1 mana immediately. Rocco can fetch up your Grinning Ignus, and you're off to the races. Or if you have the Birgi Ignus combo lying around, you can hit Rocco and go grab up the Valet or the Roastmaster, and boom, you got infinite damage. Life is good. So that's a way to make the deck a little bit more consistent if you're willing to go into white and green. So I just wanted to throw that out there as a possible idea. But otherwise, this deck is, this combo is very strong. it's one of those where if you just have the Ignus and Birgi, it does nothing. But the moment you have some kind of payoff, it wins you the game on the spot, potentially pretty darn fast. So I gotta say, this is a fun combo. I highly encourage you to give it a try. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. So please leave a comment below. Let me know how you feel about this combo, where you want to see it, and if there are other support pieces that maybe I didn't touch on that you'd like to kind of throw out there for other people looking to build this deck. Please do. I'd appreciate it very, very much. And while you're down there, if you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing to the channel, it makes a huge difference. So thank you so much, and I will catch you on the next one.